All right, what's going on, team? This is Benjamin coming at you for our training of the day. We're going to be having these trainings on an ongoing basis, just quick nuggets to help us in our process of building a massive organization, guys. Today's conversation is regards to recruiting. Recruiting is everything, guys. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any organization. You heard me say it, and I'll say it over and over again. They say new blood is the lifeblood. You want to always be recruiting. The military constantly recruits. Your job is constantly recruiting. Your churches or your religious organizations are always recruiting, because the reality is people are always leaving, so you got to always keep people coming in. And the same thing applies to your network marketing business, your business here within a team. You're always going to have people quit or leave. Of course, you want to make sure you create an environment where the right people don't quit, but you always want to be recruiting new people into the business. So one of the things we're going to talk about real quick is recruiting up. There's a difference in adding and multiplying. See, when you recruit followers, you add. But when you recruit leaders, you multiply. Make a note of that. So we want to be in a business of multiplication. We want to be in a business of recruiting leaders. What is a leader? Someone who you look up to, someone who has influence, someone who has the ability not just to come on board, but the ability to bring people with them in their following. Now, of course, there are individuals who don't have that kind of influence but have leadership potential, and we don't discriminate. Everyone has the opportunity to become, okay? But also there is a way that we make sure and understand that we're being strategic and methodical in regards to building this business fast. Success loves speed. So we want to go out here and truly ramp things up. Within the company, we have 10, get 10, get 10 plus 1. That's our formula. Get 10 recruits, help those 10 get 10 recruits, and then those 10 get 10 recruits plus 1. You are now making $30,000 guaranteed every single month. Well, let that soak in. Because imagine this, if I tell you all you need to do is recruit 10 people and help them duplicate the same thing you did twice, and you're going to make $30,000 a month, how fast and what are you willing to do to go and get that $30,000? Because understand, everyone, by doing that, you're positioning yourself for an incredible lifestyle. $30,000 a month is $360,000 a year. That puts you in the top 1% of all income earners in the world. I'll say the top 5%, really beyond the 5%. All you have to do is get 10. And this is the key part. Those who go out and get 10 leaders, they're immediately going to turn around and get 10 leaders, whereas this whole process could be done within the next 6 months, no more than 12 months. So I'm going after 12 core leaders, and I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Now, this is what's beautiful about that. If you don't feel like you're a stud, you know studs. And we have systems where if you go and approach a stud, no matter where you are, you might never had success in this industry ever before. But you know better. You have a system. We're talking about finances, is crossover where you could talk to anyone in regards to finance. When you're talking about weight loss products or lotions and potions or things of that nature, makeup. Those are somewhat demographic where you got to focus on a female, or you got to focus on people who are overweight. You got to focus, it's just different demographics for a certain company. But the thing that I love about the financial space, which is what we're in, is it hits everyone. Everybody has to get their credit on point or maintain their credit. Everyone has to eliminate debt. Everyone is looking for ways to make more money and put their money into tax-free shelters that's going to continue to increase. So we have a good spot where we could talk to everybody. But this is what I call a recruiting up process. I wrote a graph. In recruiting up, let's put yourself at a 5. And everyone you look up that are your peers, they're not the easiest people to recruit. They know they have what you have. They know what you have. And unfortunately, what people do when they're at a 5 is we go the path of least resistance, where we go and recruit a 4. We're talking to 3s, 2s, and 1s. This is what happens, guys, and there's nothing wrong with this, but this adds, and that doesn't multiply. And I can write that down where when you're talking to the 3s, the 2s, and the 1s, they add here. But when you talk to the 6s and above, they multiply. Oh, man, my penmanship. Oh, my goodness. I can't even show y'all this anymore. I will multiply. Multiply. All right, here we go. All right, so think about this. So now you're talking to your 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. When you talk to them, you're like, hey, I got an incredible opportunity. You need to jump on board, take a look at this information. I think it's something that's going to really help you to take off and do some big things. You could talk to those individuals because they look up to you. But what you want to do is talk to the people who you look up to. When you're talking to the people you look up to, it's a whole different approach. See, when you're talking to people who are have a little more than you, whether it's influence or money or success, your approach to them is, hey, listen, you want to edify them. I really admire your success, or I've always respected your opinion. Whatever it is that you have some admiration or respect for. And I just got involved with a project where and then go through the phrase that pays. I just got involved with a project where we're literally helping individuals on a part-time basis by simply referring folks to experts that is helping people fund and finance their own private bank. And I'm really excited about it, and it may not be for you. That's the takeaway. However, I would love for you to take a moment to take a look at what I'm doing, and maybe you can either refer me to somebody that you think will really benefit from this. See, that's the approach you make for individuals who are 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s. And this is what happens. When you use that approach, I want you to take a look at this. It's probably not something you're interested in. However, I'm sure you probably know some people who could really benefit from the services we provide. Would you be willing to take a look at a video and that'll explain in a little bit more detail what we do? Can you do me that favor? Yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. So now when they look at that information, guys, there's going to be 3 responses. Hey, I'm not interested. But guess what? I have a cousin or I got a friend. I want you to get in contact with them. They can use this service. Or the second person or the second response is 2 responses is, you know what? This sounds good. This looks good. I'm going to come on board and I'm going to help you out. Either one of those responses is a good response. Understand this. They're either going to say, hey, I'm not interested, but I'm good. This is nice. I like it. I think you need to call one of my vice president or, one of my proteges. And the reality is when they refer you to their proteges, most likely what they're going to refer you to are a bunch of U's. They're 5s. Understand this, guys. Wouldn't you like to have more people like you in the business? That's the beauty of this. So you want to recruit up. And recruiting up, it is imperative to take yourself out of the picture. See, the edification triangle, this is you, this is the expert or the prospect, and that's the expert. Between you and your prospect, there's trust. Between you and the expert, you want to edify. And between the expert and the prospect, there's respect. The only way they're going to respect the expert is you edify them properly, letting them know I'm working with incredible leaders who are documented in this business, who knows 100% of the facts, really loves helping people and having fun, and really down to earth. What that does is it hits on all characteristic traits. You have those individuals who are money motivated, who, they're sharps, money motivated individuals. We call them reds. When you say the person that I'm about to put you on the phone with is well documented and has had tremendous success, that piques the interest of a red. When you say they love helping people, that triggers what we call the whales or the yellows, where they're people-oriented, pastors, social workers, educators, or social workers, knows 100% of the facts. That right there is for your urchins, or we call them greens, who are very analytical people. He knows 110% of the facts, and they love having fun. See, now you hit those blues, those dolphins. Those are the folks who love having fun. So when you say, I just want to put you on the phone because I'm really just getting started and I'm excited about this and I want you to hear and see it the way I saw it. So I want to put you on the phone with my business partner who's well documented in this industry, loves helping people, knows all the facts, and really loves having fun, which is pretty exciting. So let me get Mr. Crump on the phone real quick and have him answer any questions you may have. That's the power of edification, taking you out of the picture and allowing someone else to do the work. One of the things that we do, and I want to really, because we've had a lot of success in this, I want to get to the point, because as we're building a culture of edification, we're using the words Mr. and Miss or Mrs. Why is that? Well, remember when we was growing up, we respected, we said Mr. and Miss. We want to create that environment so that when you're putting a person on a three-way call, Ben, I want you to talk to Bob, and Bob, this is Ben. Now we're on a level playing field. But when you say, Bob, I want to have you speak to Mr. McCray. Mr. McCray is the gentleman who I was telling you about, who's well documented in this industry and knows all the facts, really down-to-earth guy. Mr. McCray, this is Bob. So now all Bob knows is Mr. McCray. You develop a level like calling someone doctor. Even when you put your expert on the phone with a doctor, you want to say Mr. or Mrs. and give the upline, the support, the opportunity to say, listen, just call me Benjamin. A friend of Titania's is a friend of mine. You don't have to call me Mr. Just call me Benjamin. So now we've neutralized it, and there's a connection and a level of respect going from there. All right, guys? So we use edification. That's so imperative. What I'll do, because I want these clips to be short and sweet, there's so much more training that we're going to be running through. We're going to have other leaders bringing training to the table as well. But these are business building principles that I want everyone to start adopting, start coaching on, and making it a part of what we do. Guys, we are about to explode, and I'm so excited for all of you. God bless. Take charge. Let's go and grow.